Good afternoon and welcome to FA Cup Live for third round Sunday here on LFS as we have a cracking tie in North London to bring you as Arsenal take on Manchester United, the two sides with the most trophies in this competition in their cabinet. Arsenal with 14 FA Cups, Manchester United picking up their 13th in the summer. They are the holders. Arsenal want to knock them out. But another tough home tie in the third round for the Gunners, and they do not want to go out at this stage like they did last season. Also this afternoon, three other 3 o'clock kickoffs. Crystal Palace hosting Stockport County. Bristol Rovers head to Ipswich, and Newcastle face Bromley. Southampton Swansea is a 4:30 kickoff, and we've had 2 early kickoffs. One's just come to a conclusion. At Hull against Doncaster Rovers. Hull drew 1-1 in the 120 minutes, and Doncaster won by 5-4 on penalties. For Tamworth, what a day it has been up to this point for Tamworth of the National League against Tottenham Hotspur. Up until literally moments ago, they were holding Spurs. They brought them to extra time in that one. And in the 101st minute, Spurs broke the deadlock, and Dejan Kulusevski's just doubled Spurs' lead. But Tamworth, what a job they have done, and what a performance they've given in against Spurs today. So those are your Sunday games in the FA Cup. The draw for the 4th round will take place after the final whistle from our game between Arsenal and Manchester United. So we will have those details for you a bit later on. But remember, it will be coming to a finish today. No replays in the FA Cup anymore. Extra time or penalties if necessary. To the teams, in Arsenal in their usual strip, not in their usual strip of red and white. Today they're going all white for their campaign against death in North London, for knife crime in North London, the No More Red campaign. So Arsenal in white today. David Araya starts in goal. A back 4 of Urian Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel and Miles Lewis-Skelly in defence. Jorginho, Mikel Merino and Martin Odegaard, the captain, are in midfield, with Martinelli off the left, Jesus off the right, we believe, and Kai Havertz through the middle for the Gunners. Neto, Zinchenko, Tierney, Kivior, Partey, Rice, Sterling, Trossard and Butler Oyedeji on the bench. For Manchester United, they also committed to not wear red today. They could have, because Arsenal aren't playing in red, but they decided not to and respect Arsenal's campaign, so they're playing in their away strip of navy blue today. Altay Bayindir starts in goal for United. A back 3/back 5 of Nusir Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, Harry Maguire, Lisandro Martinez and Diogo Dalot. In midfield, Manuel Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo. Alejandro Garnacho starts on the right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes off the left-hand side of a front 3. And Rasmus Højlund leading the line for United. On the bench, Onana, Malacia, Yoro, Ahmad, Casemiro, Collier, Eriksen, Anthony and Joshua Zirkzee. It is a cup tie to savour and to remember, and hopefully we get a lot of entertainment today. Arsenal take on Manchester United in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and kickoff is next. A very good afternoon. Welcome to LFS for FA Cup Live. We'll keep you to date with all of the scores from the games kicking off at 3 o'clock this afternoon and bring you that final score from Tamworth when that comes through in about 8 minutes' time, where it looks like Spurs will be progressing, but it wasn't an easy job for Ange Postecoglou's team, who will be coming here to the Emirates on Wednesday night for the North London derby, which we'll have live here on LFS on Wednesday nights at extra time that Arsenal don't want to be heading towards today, as they will have that slight bit advantage on their nearest rivals. We will see what will happen this afternoon. Arsenal beat United on 2 set pieces in the league game as of recent. United want their revenge, but Arsenal want to progress from the 3rd round and don't want to be knocked out at this stage at home for the 2nd successive season, as we get underway at the Emirates Stadium for this one. And of course, Manchester United don't want to go out of this stage. They're first game and trying to defend their trophy that they are the holders of. But we will see if Manchester United can give that inspired performance like they did at Anfield last week and getting a draw out of Liverpool. Can they get something out of Arsenal and knock them out of this competition? You would feel if the FA Cup at the moment for Arsenal out of the two cups, albeit they're still in the semi-final against Newcastle, but 2-0 down, this might be their only hope of a trophy this season if the Champions League and Premier League don't pan out. They are the record holders, and this is the last trophy they actually won with Mikel Arteta. Major trophy, the only major trophy that he's won at the club. It's the FA Cup back in 2020. We're underway in those other 3 o'clock kickoffs, by the way, so we will keep you up to date with the scores. A couple of Premier League teams at home as well this afternoon. Crystal Palace, Ipswich and Newcastle all at home to lower league opposition in Stockport, Bristol Rovers and Bromley. And we will bring you up to date with all the scores from those games as they happen. Ugarte goes back to Lisandro Martinez. It will be a day where Manchester United have had a bit of time on the training field this week and something to really work towards. A confidence boosting result against Liverpool in that free week, which Arsenal didn't have. Of course, playing here against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final, which certainly didn't go Arsenal's way in midweek. They were well below par against a Newcastle side who were clinical as anything. This is the day for Arsenal to re-stick their claim, because I did say on Wednesday night that, you know, in a matter of 4 or 5 days, Arsenal could find themselves almost out of both cup competitions, considering they were heading into this week thinking 2 home games, yes, 2 Premier League sides, but 2 home games where you haven't been beaten all season. You would feel that was a massive opportunity to progress, but the first hurdle they fell at, Arsenal. It's Garnacho putting pressure here on Timber, sorry. And Timber playing on the left side at the moment. Here is Ødegaard. Back to Gabriel. I have to say, if I do get some of the Arsenal players wrong today, there's no shirt numbers, just plain white, their kits today, so I'm going off faces and hair. Today is Ødegaard, in behind it goes, well tracked by Lisandro Martinez, and Fernandes trying to get United down the left. Tries to feed the ball towards Højlund, but well recovered by Saliba. Here's Ødegaard into the path of Marino, and out to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Positive start for the home side, controlling the ball early doors. United not afraid to press. They've been a bit more intense with their press in recent days and weeks. Saw that in the Liverpool game where their press was really intense against Liverpool at times, and did cause the home side last week a bit of trouble. They're already showing a bit of pressing early doors against Arsenal, but Arsenal able to hold on to the ball with Jesus. Back to Ødegaard. Into Jorginho, back to Ødegaard again. He will try and lift it over the top. Well defended by De Ligt. Kept alive by Arsenal in and around the edge of the box. There's Ødegaard. Now Jesus. Just come into the side and maybe just giving Arsenal that extra bit of life in the final third as the Brazilian, Gabriel Jesus. Ødegaard, lovely ball over the top. Jesus across, but a bobbling cross comfortably gathered by a Turkish international, Atabe Indir. Of course, Andre Onana on the bench for this one today. A change of goalkeeper for Manchester United. You see the intentions of Ruben Amorim to change the goalkeeper for the cup competitions. You usually see it nowadays in modern sport, modern football, certainly in these cup competitions, the early rounds. No matter who you face, you always more or less see your second choice goalkeeper between the sticks, unless it gets to the latter stages where some would change it back. But clearly the intention of Amorim to give his second choice keeper a bit of a run out today. A chance to try and do his very best against what has been a stifled Arsenal team. Haven't been the most free-flowing in front of goal, Arsenal, as of recent. But they are a deadly threat when they can turn it on and carve you open. Another goal between Tamworth and Tottenham to tell you about, and that game is done and dusted now. Brennan Johnson has just added a third for Spurs. It is 3-0, and Spurs will be heading through to the fourth round. But amazing credit to Tamworth, who got them all the way to extra time in that game. 0-0, an incredible feat. And Spurs, for moments, could have actually lost that game in normal time or extra time. So, bit of a close shave, and the scoreline might flatter Spurs a bit more than probably they deserve on the day. An early goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well at Sellers Park to tell you about, where Crystal Palace are hosting Stockport County, and it is the Premier League side Crystal Palace through Iberi Eze who have taken the lead. Palace 1, Stockport County 0. Palace got to the semi-finals of this competition back in 2022 before being knocked out by Chelsea. Here comes Martinelli down the left for Arsenal. Well, closed off by Mazraoui. And Ugarte over there to help out as Martinelli tries to skip past Ugarte and feed the ball around the United midfielder, but Ugarte does well and blocks his track. Certainly the United midfield, since Manuel Ugarte's kind of introduction, have been much more combative, especially out of possession. They've been better with their running stats of United, covering the ground. It seemed at times before Ugarte came in, he's not the be-all and end-all, and they still have struggled at times, but overall it's been massively positive, because before Ugarte came in, United weren't running, they weren't tracking, they looked isolated in the midfield, and the many times their midfield got absolutely run ragged by teams in the Premier League. And you know, you see Ugarte, and it just gives that little bit more stability in that centre area for Manchester United, alongside Kobbie Mainoo as well, who at times was on his own out there. It's a tough job to do. Here's Lewis Skelly for Arsenal, space down the left hand side, wants to find Martinelli, does so, hugging the touchline, and good challenge there by Mazraoui, but the referee's actually given it against the United wing back. Martinelli gets the free kick for the Gunners. Yeah, see it again. It's a good attempt of a challenge by Mazraoui. He kind of just doesn't get near the ball. Just catches Martinelli as he comes through. A set piece for Arsenal. That's where they won the game against United in the league at the start of December. 2 goals from two corners. And that really decided that game. In total, Arsenal had 13 corners in that game. United didn't have a single corner against Arsenal in that league game. This isn't a corner, it's a free kick on the left-hand side, but a set piece nonetheless, where Arsenal are lucrative. And Odegaard will deliver from the left side. Actually goes short this time. Ball into the box, switched out to the right. Saliba with the first header, and away by De Ligt, and the flag went up for offside. A goal to tell you about at St James's Park. There was an upset at a similar named stadium at St James Park yesterday when Exeter beat Oxford United. Well, could there be an upset at St James's Park today? Because Newcastle United are trailing by 1-0 to Bromley. Bromley of League 2 are leading Premier League Newcastle. Cameron Congreve has given Bromley the lead, and the visitors there up in the northeast are leading. And I wouldn't call the Newcastle team a poor team. A few of them, quite a number of them actually started against Arsenal here on Wednesday night, so it's a pretty strong team. I've just seen a foul here. Gabriel fouled by Garnacho. Certainly the home fans are not happy. Yeah, Garnacho came sliding in, and yeah, the studs were up there, to be fair. He lost the ball, and yeah, I think there's not much in intention there. Kind of just catches Gabriel. The Arsenal fans weren't happy with it. They've given him a free kick, of course, but nothing more. Final score in that Tamworth game, Tamworth 0, Tottenham 3 after extra time. So Doncaster Rovers and Tottenham are the first two teams to put their names in the hat for the fourth round draw, taking place after the final whistle here at the Emirates. Gabriel will just siphon that ball back to Saliba. Marino now trying to target Martinelli's run down the left, and the keeper had committed himself in Bayendir, and he just about gets away with that situation. Goodness me, Bayendir came a good way out to the edge of his box, and he had to head it out for a throw in the end. Certainly talking about commitment from the United goalkeeper there. No damage done though. And taking the time from this throw in Arsenal. There's Skelly. Flicked on by Marino into the box. Havertz can't get on the end of it. Does the second. Shot charged down. And Arsenal end up faltering the possession to Manchester United. And Garnacho again with a challenge on Gabriel. It's Højlund this time involved as well. And that ends up with a Arsenal free kick. I'm just seeing the Bromley goal at the moment. Oh, what a goal. From the edge of the box, around about 20 odd yards. It's just a bobbling effort. The keeper's diving for it, and it just bobbles in front of him and into the back of the net. That's a lovely goal. And Bromley of League 2 leading Newcastle United. What a moment. It'll be some story if we get a proper Premier League side with an upset over the weekend. There's nothing of real great note in terms of Premier League upsets this weekend. Not a single Premier League side has been toppled to a lower league team as of yet. All of the Premier League sides against lower league opposition doing their jobs. Odegaard to take this free kick for Arsenal. Left-footed delivery. Flicked on. And it's just off target by Gabriel, who got on to the end of that delivery by his captain. Goal kick. It was a decent whip delivery by Odegaard, and it kind of bouncing up it goes from Gabriel and just headed wide. Short player from the back here from United. Mazraoui. De Ligt has to hoof it long now to find Højlund, but well intercepted by Arsenal. Down the left it comes. Martinelli. Infield to Marino. Here is Martinelli again with a cross. Maguire with a header away. Brought down by Timber. He had a few chances against Newcastle in the week. Not able to convert. Here's Odegaard trying to stride into the box. Lays it off to Timber. Timber back across. Away by Maguire again. Manchester United under the cautious slight bit at the moment as Jesus tries to dig out a cross and gets a throw in off Diogo Dalot. It's better from Arsenal. Decent first 15 minutes from the home side. And starting to threaten the United box now. Well, that's well won back by Fernandes down the left, and a good challenge there by Jorginho across. Puts it out for a United throw. Delaying the United progress. Mainu. Bit of a heavy ball back towards De Ligt, which carries him about 10-15 yards further than he would have wanted. And the ball forward actually deflected off an Arsenal player out for United throw. I was going to say that was an awful ball by De Ligt, but it took a deflection off Martinelli. Here's Martinez getting the ball from his keeper. Right to Disallowed it comes. Oh, he slices it back to the edge of his own box here. And Arsenal crowded out. Still alive with Ugarte though, so he clears away from danger. But Arsenal's pressure starting to show upon this United team. Not given much space to get forward. And there's not a lot of room in and around the edge of their own box here at the moment for United to get anywhere out. Ball over the top for Havertz. Just a bit ahead of him. And Bayindir came and gathered. Again, you're starting to see the glimpses of what Arsenal can pose, what threats they can pose to United. And Havertz was offside anyway. And the flag was going to go up anyway against them if it had been turned in by the German. That's a long ball over the top for United. Here's Disallowed down the left, but he is in an offside position. So they return the favour. And Arsenal get a free kick now. Well, in terms of these two, as of recently, Arsenal haven't fallen to a defeat against United in a competitive game since September of 2022, when they lost 3-1 at Old Trafford. They have won 4 in a row against United. 3 at home and 1 away on those occasions. Some cracking games in that mix as well. Lovely play by Odegaard, flicks it on, the ball bounces through for Martinelli. And Arsenal take the lead. Do they? No, they don't. Flag goes up. I was delayed because Martinelli didn't know whether to celebrate or not, and the flag was flying. The assistant wasn't in a hurry to put the flag up. We'll see it again if he was offside. There was an offside against Arsenal a moment or two ago, so it could be. See it again. Odegaard with a flick. The ball through. Yeah, he's miles offside. Oh, it does come off the defender though. It does come off Harry Maguire. I mean, did Harry Maguire intentionally touch the ball, or was it a deflection? Because if it was a deflection, then it's offside. But if it was a deliberate play of the ball by Maguire, then the offside is invalid. And it should have been a goal, but the decision is no goal. And the referee and the officials deem it to be a non-intentional touch by Harry Maguire. So the goal does not stand. Remember, no VAR today to even further convolute things. Now, referee today's Andy Madley. Another flag went up against Arsenal. That's 3 offsides in the matter of 2 or 3 minutes here. Certainly trying those plays in behind the United defence. Yeah, that's a close one, that. Because you see that we're just seeing the goal that wasn't a goal again. And it looks like Harry Maguire's got his leg outstretched to block the ball. But I don't think he makes any intention to play the ball. But it could be construed the complete opposite way. And it could be seen as a deliberate play. But the officials say no. And the goal does not stand. Gabriel with a header. Flying over the top was Mazraoui, but not able to find a teammate. As it's thumped forward by Jorginho. Headed back the way it came by Maguire. A bit of head tennis between the United players there as they bring it down with Mazraoui. Now Garnacho. Mazraoui into Højlund. Trying to use his skill, but gives the ball away in the process. And Gabriel has it back. Saliba. Out to Timber on the right-hand side. Of course, Timber playing right back at the moment. He is by trade a left back, but filling in at right back for the moment for Arsenal. And Arsenal break out of that United press. Here's Lewis Skelly. To Gabriel. 20 minutes gone at the Emirates, and it is Arsenal here on top. And the threatening early doors here against United. Certainly applying a lot of pressure. But it is still 0-0. And anything can happen in a tight game, no matter who's dominating. And that's a foul on Kai Havertz, committed by Lisandro Martinez. It's dealt with and taken quickly by Arsenal. Not looking to lose the momentum of the game. We have another goal to tell you about at St James's Park as well. And it is a leveller for the home side. Newcastle United weren't behind for long against Bromley. A total of around about 7 minutes. They were behind. Lewis Miley with the equaliser. It is Newcastle 1, Bromley 1. At St James's. Lovely takeaway by Odegaard. And space here for the run over the top by Martinelli. Taken wide. Still Jesus here. Feeds it into Odegaard. Bit of a heavy pass. And it will bounce back towards Altay Bayindir. Again, there's space and areas to exploit here for Arsenal and behind United. Just about being putting quality balls across or into the box and feeding balls in behind with quality. It's where Arsenal struggled in the week. It's their execution of how they wanted to play. They really didn't play that well. Up until the final third, they were pretty decent, but when they got into the final third, I think they forgot how to play football in midweek. A goal at Portman Road. Forgot the name of the stadium there. At Portman Road between Ipswich of the Premier League and Bristol Rovers of League One. And it is the side that, with Ciara McKenna, were promoted from League One to the Championship to now the Premier League. And they lead by a goal to 0 against Bristol Rovers. Calvin Phillips with the opener. And Ipswich lead. The last time those two met, Ipswich and Bristol Rovers, was in a cup last season, and they won 2-0 at Portman Road. But the last time they met in a league game was at Bristol Rovers in February of 2023, and they drew 0 each. That's crazy to say that less than 2 years ago, Ipswich and Bristol Rovers played in League One, and now they're separated by 2 divisions. Quite remarkable, that story for Ipswich. And to add to that, Bristol Rovers haven't been relegated. They've stayed in the same division. It's all of Ipswich. They've made the difference. As Mainu has a shot from distance. It's worth an effort, but the effort was pretty tamely struck at David Raya, who made the save. It was worth an effort at the edge of the box there. A bit of early possession for Manchester United, which haven't really had up to this point. Further forward anyway. Another wasteful pass by Disallowed. Misplaced. Timber. On the turn was Havertz, but hounded by Maguire, who's broke free here. Harry Maguire. Maguire out to Hoyland. Hoyland on the left. Try to cut it back. Far too underhit. And Saliba will deal with that one and clear his lines. And there will be a foul on Gabriel Jesus, which Arsenal take quickly. Want to get on the move. Here's Odegaard. Lots of United bodies back. Odegaard, pinpoint pass to Jesus. Lovely play. He's only got Kai Havertz in front of him. Not able to find him, as Arsenal will now just recycle the ball and just keep the possession for the moment. Not looking to make this a end-to-end open game are the Gunners. Rather control the game and dominate the possession and dominate the control. Over 60% of the ball so far, 62% of the possession for Arsenal. In the opening 25 minutes. Nice play in between the lines here. Odegaard, bit of space on the edge. Plays it forward to Martinelli, who couldn't get a shot off. Still, comes wide to Jesus now. Lifts the one into the box. Back post. And headed behind by Nasir Mazraoui, who was on the cover. He had a man in behind him, and he had to head it behind for a corner. Really good recycling of the ball from Arsenal, feeding it wide to the Jesus in space in the edge of the box. Whips a lovely cross in with his right, curling to the back post, and Martinelli was lurking, and Mazraoui had to head it behind for the Arsenal corner. And believe it or not, that is the first corner of the game, and we're in the 25th minute. It's not often it takes them this long to get their first corner, Arsenal. Here it is. They've scored 9 goals from corners this season. United have conceded 9 goals from corners this season, including 2 directly from the corner in recent weeks against Spurs and against Wolves. Now there is a stoppage here at the moment, as David Raya was receiving some treatment, which the referee has to stop the game because there's a medical person on the field. But the corner will be taken in a moment. We have another goal at Portman Road to tell you about in a moment. Martinelli's over there to take this corner. Those United fans behind that goal are trying to put Arsenal off and to back their team. Corner for Arsenal, left-hand side. Martinelli to deliver. Lots of fighting in and around the 6-yard box here. The referee's just going to delay the corner a few more seconds as he tries to sort out what actually happened there. Pushing and shoving and a lot of physicality in there. I guarantee you that has happened in every single league game in the Premier League this season. A stoppage from a corner to make sure there's no fighting. At corner, left-hand side for Arsenal. Bodies in the 6-yard box. Bodies at the back post. Corner delivered to the back post. Away by Mazraoui. Not fully cleared on the rebound by Højlund, and it will go out for an Arsenal throw on the right-hand side, which Ødegaard takes quickly, but the delivery well dealt with by Manchester United this time against Arsenal. Here's Mainoo. A tight space, closed down well by Jurrien Timber. The referee doesn't give a foul in the way of Arsenal, and he has just given the throw in Arsenal's way. I don't know if Andy Matty was about to give it the other way, and the Arsenal fans kind of roared up, and he did make it clear that it was an Arsenal throw. As I was saying, a second goal at Portman Road, and it's another one for the home side. Ipswich 2-0 up now. Jack Clark with the second goal to double the home side's lead. Ipswich 2, Bristol Rovers 0. So at the moment, the 3 Premier League sides against lower league opposition would at least be going to extra time. There's an issue here as Jesus is taken down, and there's a yellow card out from the referee, and it's going to be Lisandro Martinez who's going to get a booking for that challenge on the Brazilian. See it again. Yeah, kind of just swipes his arm across his face. Yeah. See why the referee's given a yellow card there. See why Lisandro Martinez is a bit frustrated, but it is a free kick to Arsenal and a yellow card for the United centre-back. Martinez shakes his head. Well, at the moment, it's actually Jesus is holding his knee, I think, which wasn't affected in the challenge, so whatever that has happened there. This is probably the closest chance of the game. Kobbie Mainoo's shot from distance. Certainly the only real time we've seen United come forward. It's their only shot of the game. They've barely been in it since or beforehand. But his last goal for Manchester United, Kobbie Mainoo, was in that cup final, which they won and back in the summer against Manchester City. Hasn't scored since that FA Cup final. In any competition, that is. At first I read that and I thought, well, he hasn't played in the FA Cup since, but it is in all competitions. And he hasn't scored. Could be Manu. Jesus is still down here at the moment, which... And he's just being held back to his feet by his teammates now. He gets a couple of boos from the away stands on the far side. And Arsenal do have a free kick here. It's a bit to the right. Quite a distance out, about 30 odd yards out. But it's a good whipping chance. It's a good crossing opportunity. From the set piece. Odegaard darting his eyes across, looking for a target. They get ready to take this. Odegaard with a left-footed delivery, curling towards the goal, and the keeper came. And the whistle actually gone against Arsenal for a foul. To see it again, I think it was Urian Timber involved. Yeah, he kind of shoves the United player down. In Bruno Fernandes, did Urian Timber, free kick to United anyway. Don't forget, of course, as I mentioned, after this game tonight, the fourth round draw of the FA Cup will take place. 32 teams in that draw. Of course, we won't know two sets of those teams by that point because, of course, Southampton Swansea will still be in play by the time the draw is done. And, of course, it's a Monday night game as Millwall host Dagenham and Redbridge. So there's a couple of and/ors for the draw. But 32 teams will be in the draw for the last 16 of the FA Cup. No, but the last 32, but you know what I mean. The round of 16 games. There's a foul there by Bruno Fernandes. Already a couple of Premier League sides have made their stake and into the fourth round, of course. All the Premier League sides that faced lower league opposition. Of course, West Ham knocked out by Aston Villa on Friday night, which we watched here on LFS. There was a bit of a slip in the midfield there from United, but not affecting the play as Odegaard comes forward with it to Moreno. Looking for options. Gives it out wide to Miles Lewis Skelly. Apologies. Gabriel out to Martinelli on the left-hand side. Has to come back with it though. But as I was saying, some top Premier League sides in the next round. The winner of this one will be ball number 2 in the draw. Ball over the top here. Running behind from Gabriel Jesus. It almost made Man United fret. And Mazraoui was there to cover it over, but good opportunity. There's Martinelli with a cross. Way by Maguire. United try and play it out and get forward with Fernandes. Playing it onto Garnacho. Back to Fernandes and overhits it. Does the United captain. Man United just can't get a flow in their game. In possession at the moment. As Fernandes breaks forward. And Saliba strides away from the United captain. And then gets taken out as he enters the United half by Manuel Ugarte. And a free kick taken quickly by Arsenal. Similar theme from those short free kicks. Here's Kai Havertz on the right. Out to Odegaard. Flicks it on for the overlapping Timber, who crosses deep to the back post. Not comfortably cleared away by Mazraoui as Martinelli picks it back up. Arsenal pushing and probing in and around the edge of the United box. Cross comes in from Gabriel, cleared away by United again. As Fernandes again tries to create an attack as he sends Garnacho on the run. Højlund went down and Garnacho's on his own here at the moment. With a rare breakaway for United. Garnacho across, and yeah, it would have been a difficult one to finish from that tight angle. And Raya gathers pretty simply. But Arsenal, with 10 minutes to go in the first half, feel that they are growing even more into the game, and the momentum is certainly theirs at the moment. Odegaard, ball in behind. Here is Martinelli! Well charged down by Maguire. That was beautiful run in behind and a well-weighted ball. United gaping hole in their defence there. And they get lucky that Maguire got across. Otherwise that would have been a real goal-scoring chance for Martinelli. Martinelli, who had a massive chance in midweek. Thumped against the right post. Certainly seeing a lot of testing of the United back line from Arsenal. They're switching up their approach. They're playing balls in behind, playing it down the wings, playing it in between the defenders with those kind of weighted balls into the feet of their attackers. So they're switching up the approach and keeping the United defence guessing as to whether to push or to kind of step off the Arsenal attackers. It's creating that little bit of confusion, a bit of chaos when Arsenal come forward. Maguire back to Martinez. Into Mainu. Now Uarte switches it out to the right hand side for Mazraoui. Plays it on to Garnacho. Having to turn back into the field. There's Garnacho. United come all the way back to the halfway line with Maguire. Mainu to De Ligt. Nice roll on by Mazraoui, and he does get the break of the ball as Garnacho was fouled. The referee's played advantage. Here's Mazraoui. Cuts it back for Fernandes, taken out of the edge of the box. No foul, says the referee. Fernandes incessant as Arsenal want to come forward now. Andy madly moved, allowed the United advantage, and as the ball was cut back to the edge of the box, Bruno Fernandes incessant. He's holding one of his boots here and saying, how is that not a foul? And that is dissent from Bruno Fernandes as he throws his boot to the ground, and the referee's going to book him. I mean, his temper is flaring, but I think you could probably have a claim. Well, yeah, he was clipped at the back heel, so he was stopped from getting onto the ball. It's a foul, surely. The referee says no. Bruno Fernandes then throws his boot to the ground the first time, gets a good 10 yards on it, and then throws it right in front of the referee's face again, with the referee watching on, and that is a clear showing of dissent by the United captain, and that has got Bruno Fernandes a yellow card. I mean, I wouldn't quite say I have sympathy for Bruno Fernandes and not getting the free kick, because you're the captain and you're a leader of a team, and you have to show a bit of kind of respect to the referee. It's completely disrespectful, but I can get why he's frustrated. But there's no need to be throwing boots around at the pitch. But I gather his frustration. There is an issue here. There's an Arsenal player needing a stretcher. Raheem Sterling is going to be coming on, so I think it's the player that fouled Bruno, well, didn't foul Bruno Fernandes according to the referee. I couldn't quite see who it was. I'll have to see it again. It is, it looks like Gabriel Jesus, it is, that actually hurt himself in that tussle with Bruno Fernandes, and he is now going to be stretchered off. And Raheem Sterling is going to be coming on here for Arsenal, the 30-year-old. On loan from Chelsea, of course, for the season is Sterling. And last played in the FA Cup, Raheem Sterling. Last made a FA Cup appearance back in 2022. When he played for Manchester City. Which is quite crazy when I looked that up. That his last appearance in this competition was with Manchester City. back in 2022. And that was in the 3-2 defeat of Liverpool in the semi-final back in April of 22. That was his last appearance in the competition. That's quite crazy for Raheem Sterling. Another goal at Portman Road. It looks like Ipswich are having a day of it at home, because they have added a third to their advantage, and they are now 3 goals to the good against League One Bristol Rovers. Jack Taylor with a third, and that should be, barring a mad comeback in the second half, that should be Ipswich possibly booking their place in the 4th round. Still a whole half of football to go, but 3-0 up at home should be decent enough. Although Ipswich's home record isn't particularly great. Only got their first home win of the season a few weeks ago. Well, of course we know over the years these two have had some mad tussles in the FA Cup. The last meeting between these two in this competition was back in January of 2019. And at that point, Mikel Arteta wasn't in charge of Arsenal. Of course, it was in the 4th round back then here at the Emirates. Unai Emery was in charge, and Manchester United came out 3-1 winners on that occasion. And all 4 goal scorers that day are no longer at their respective clubs. Ball down the left for Arsenal towards Martinelli. Slightly bit overhit, but I think there was a touch from a United player, and Disallowed on the way through, and it will be a corner. Well, here's the Arsenal set-piece coach. They're taking their time on these corners. It's only Arsenal's second corner. The first one was well defended by Manchester United. How will the second one go? 2.5 minutes of the half remaining, plus the additional time, of course. Arsenal with a corner. However, the referee's just going to stop this now, because there's more tussling and bustling in and around the goal line. The referee kind of bemused and saying, oh, why do I have to say this again? He's already said it once on the last corner of the game. Let's see what Arsenal do here. Left footed, there's a man down, and the ball comes right towards Altabi and Deer. 2 Arsenal corners, and neither of them affecting Manchester United one bit. Here's Disallowed. Well, United, if they win at half-time, they can say that they've been probably nowhere in the game, but it's still goalless. If that were to be the half-time scoreline. Although here's Fernandes, and he's got a run of Rasmus Højlund in behind. Garnacho there with him. Højlund trying to find an option, has space to shoot. Cuts it back to Menu. Charge down. And that attack from United comes to a close as Martinelli tries to break down the left for Arsenal. Skips away from the challenge from Ugarte. Up against Disallowed. And Disallowed does really well against Martinelli to make sure that the ball couldn't be won by the Brazilian. But Arsenal have it back with less than a minute of the first 45 remaining. Still goalless, but Arsenal, who've been the better side, haven't been able to net the ball into the back of the net just yet. Arsenal certainly on top, but without a shot on target in this first half, which will be a slight worry for Arteta. All over the top, again dealt with by Martinez. And this time you're in Timber trying to win it back, committing a foul. Free kick. There's nothing discreet in that challenge by Timber on Menu. And United get that free kick. As there will be 5 added minutes at the end of the first half, so quite a decent amount of stoppage time. Oh, the Man United free kick comes to nothing. Arsenal intercepting and getting a foul of their own when Kai Havertz was toppled over. Ball from Jorginho in behind, finding Martinelli, who'd made the run beyond, and Martinez tracking him all the way out to put it out for a throw. Jorginho, he's clipped again, and Martinez, who's already on a yellow, has to be very, very careful here. The referee being asked the question, is that not a second yellow? The referee responding no. And just a talking to, I would say, for Martinez here, and a warning that the next one would be a second yellow. Comes through the back of Odegaard. Doesn't get massive amounts of contact, but does clip Odegaard on the way through and trying to get the ball. And it is a foul, certainly. And a free kick. And the only yellow card has to be very, very careful, does the United centre-back. It's really one of their best positions from their free kicks in this game. The closest towards the goal that they've got to from a set-piece situation. About 22 yards out. Angle to the right-hand side of the goal. So we'll benefit a left-footer from this angle, unless they want to try and sneak it in the near post with a right-footer around the wall. But I would argue a left-footer is most likely, as there's quite a few in conversation here for this one. Be surprised if anyone other than Martin Odegaard was to take it. And it looks like he will be the one to take it. Sterling is there as well. He's on the scene. He's the right footer, is Sterling. Odegaard is the left-footed option. And there's an option to square the ball across to the edge of the D as well. The body lurking there in Urian Timber. Let's see what Arsenal can do here. Odegaard will hit it, but headed over the bar he does. Goal kick. Yeah, it was never really dipping. Got it over the wall. Just couldn't get it dipping back down the other end. United trying to apply a bit of pressure, but that's comfortably dealt with. That pressure by Kobbie Mainoo. And Arsenal will get a goal kick. They've gone to half-time. Those other 3 o'clock kickoffs. Crystal Palace leading Stockport by a goal to 0. Ipswich 3 up against Bristol Rovers, and it's 1-1 between Newcastle and Bromley at the break. So those are the other 3 o'clock kickoffs, all at the half-time interval. We have about a minute or so to go here at the Emirates before they will take a 15-minute breather. Both teams, and I think a few instructions will be delivered to both sets of players at half-time on how Arsenal can be more threatening in the final third, and how Manchester United can even get into the final third at times on a more consistent basis. As here's an issue for Arsenal, because Odegaard's gone down, and it looks to be holding around his right ankle. So Jesus has already been taken off, and Odegaard is up on his feet. The Arsenal captain. He is okay to continue, but certainly they will assess him at half-time. It will be a keen eye to watch whether he comes out for the second half or not, the Arsenal captain. At the moment he will continue till half-time at the very least. But he is in pain with that right ankle. One to keep a watch on. Gabriel. Not in a hurry to do anything here. Does switch it across to the right hand side. Sterling with a header. Flicked away by Martinez. Bit of head tennis around between both teams there, as United do eventually bring the ball down with Martinez into Uarty. Right to Mazraoui on the right hand side. Will United have one last chance before half time? Had the most threatening chance of the game. The ball in behind. Mazraoui on the run. But too much. And that will be the end of the half. So the whistle goes from Andy Madley. And United coming the closest in that first half. Kobbie Mainoo's effort, really the only shot of the game that has caused either goalkeeper any sort of threat so far, and that was a team effort in and of itself. Arsenal again, a lot of the ball, a lot of possession, but not a lot to show for it at half-time. In the FA Cup third round, it is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Analysis, on the way next. Welcome back to FA Cup Live. Half-time at the Emirates. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0 in the All-Premier League tie at half-time. And a pretty lacklustre first half from both teams. Arsenal again, I mean, I feel like it's deja vu from Wednesday night when... Tuesday night, apologies. When I was watching Arsenal take on Newcastle in the League Cup semi-final. And it's the same type of theme that we saw in the first half there. The difference is Arsenal haven't conceded, but if we compare those two games, it's all the same, the similar diagnosis for Arsenal. You know, they're controlling the ball, they're controlling possession of the dominant side, but their opponent is just sitting a bit deeper, covering the spaces, playing that strong defensive line. United play that back five out of possession, so they're closing the gaps. They're not allowing Arsenal much space wide or centrally. So they're well defensively covered, Manchester United at the moment, and Arsenal just really look toothless. Toothless is the word at the moment. They look really toothless in the final third because they're getting into areas, they're having chances, and it's the similar theme to Tuesday night. They're doing everything right up until the final third, but once they get into the final third, there's nothing. They lack that energy, that kind of real vision and initiative to go, well, yeah, kind of make that run, drag this man here, move the United back five. Very rigid, very solid, very kind of solitary back five at the moment for United, and they're comfortable with that because Arsenal aren't getting either one, enough bodies forward to push them out of position, or two, they're not kind of being unpredictable enough so that United go, well, he is going to make that run, but he's not going to get the ball, so I'm not going to follow him because he's either going to be offside or he's just not going to get the ball anyway, so I'm just going to stay in the back five because it's worked so far. Because Arsenal have, one, become too predictable because they're just popping the ball around and you know exactly what they're going to do. At times in that first half I thought, right, they're trying to switch it up, they're trying to play the balls in behind, they're going wide with it, they're putting them over the top, trying to mix it up. But as the half went on, after that disallowed goal, there was nothing. You know, barely anything in the game from an Arsenal point of view in and around the United box. United had their box solidly closed off like it was kind of Alcatraz, in a sense, an isolated island in the middle of icy cold water. Arsenal just were nowhere near it. And, you know, if Arsenal want to progress and want to become a successful side, this is a problem they need to fix and fast, because this is 2 games in a row now where they've looked like they're toothless. You know, they've gone, I mean, it's not as dramatic as it seems. they've gone a total of 135 minutes now without a goal in a game of half football. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world because Newcastle defended really well against Arsenal. But again, I don't think Manchester United have had to do too much to defend well against Arsenal today. They've actually probably done just enough, really. Done the minimal amount of work because Arsenal really haven't asked them to do more than sit in a back five and stay kind of in line with each other and play a good offside trap. You know, it's just that lack of I always struggle to come up with a word because there's a word I'm always thinking of and I can never come up with it. But I know what I'm thinking when it comes to Arsenal because we've seen it before. We've seen it with this team where they can do it. It's just at the moment it's not happening. It's not working. It's not able to progress in the same way. And teams may be defending Arsenal slightly differently now, with them being regarded as one of the top teams in the country, and maybe that could be an effect. But, you know, being honest, I still think there's space in this game, there's opportunities in this game for Arsenal, but they're letting themselves down once again in another game where their opponent is probably just about matching them, in a sense, out of possession. And they haven't really been asked to do very much. Newcastle played very well, very clinical against Arsenal, but they weren't dominant. They weren't over the top, kind of destroying Arsenal. They were just the better team in the final third, and that's the difference on the day. Today, Manchester United have had the only shot on target that really tested either goalkeeper with Kobbie Mainoo. But other than that, they've barely had anything in the final third. That's why it's 0-0 at half-time. Arsenal haven't created very much in the final third, and neither have Manchester United. So, you know, from United's point of view, yeah, really good defensively, but we've not really seen the glimpse of United going up the other end. But at the moment, away at Arsenal, 0-0 at half-time, massive positive for Ruben Amorim, who, at the moment, would love a big victory away from home. That promising result against Liverpool, the 2-2 draw at last weekend. And that came after 4 defeats on the bounce. A big win is maybe needed for United to kind of reignite their energy into 2025 and what's to come for them. And a big FA Cup win certainly ignited them last season towards the end of the campaign. Well, we'll see if they can do it in the second half. But so far, both sides lacklustre in the final third and offering very little. As I said, Kobbie Mainoo's tame effort from around about the edge of the box, around 20 yards out, that was easily comfortably saved by David Raya, is probably the, in a sense, the most threatening shot, and it was pretty easily dealt with. But over the last 3 seasons, in terms of goals from open play under Arteta, per game, 1.3. That is less than both of the last 2 seasons, and quite a distance less than the last 2 seasons under Mikel Arteta in terms of goals per game. So their output from open play, Arsenal, has certainly decreased. There is no doubt about that. You can see that. You don't need stats to tell you that. You can see that from what we've witnessed in that first half. No doubt. Right, the other scores as well, they'll be getting underway for the second half because they're a bit ahead of us in terms of their second half because they were already at half-time when we were into added time. So they have a couple of minutes ahead of us. Crystal Palace leading Stockport County by a goal to nil. So still quite close in that game. Palace took an early lead through Iberi Eze, but Stockport County of League One are still in the battle, still in the fight at the moment, just 1-0 down away at Palace. Ipswich are making easier work of Bristol Rovers at Portman Road. They're 3 up at the break. Phillips, Clark and Taylor with the goals as Ipswich cruising towards a fourth round place. And at half-time, it's not so easy for Newcastle United, who came here to North London on Tuesday night and conquered and give themselves an advantage to take back to St James's. But as they return to St James's this weekend, they are struggling against League 2 Bromley at half-time. It is 1-1. Newcastle United don't want to be the first Premier League side to fall to lower league opposition in the FA Cup this season. Well, they have 45 minutes to try and make sure that doesn't happen. We will see. And in that 4:30 kickoff to come, Southampton take on Swansea, and we'll keep you to date with that one as that gets underway in about half an hour's time at St Mary's. A much needed distraction from Premier League football for the Saints. Right, the second half between Arsenal and Manchester United is on the way very shortly. Do stay with us. to FA Cup Live at half-time at the Emirates. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. So the Gunners going a game and a half without finding a goal here at the Emirates, and Manchester United holding them to that goalless draw at the moment. Of course, extra time and penalties if needed this afternoon to decide a winner to take place into the fourth round. Of course, the draw will take place after the conclusion of this game, so if we go to extra time and penalties, the draw will be delayed. But if we do get a scheduled finish, the draw should be around about after 5 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll have the details of that for you on our socials a bit later on. Right, it'll be 32 teams in the draw for that one, so 16 matches to be decided for the next round, and one of these two teams will be in it, and both will hope to be in it. Manchester United trying to defend their trophy, Arsenal looking to keep it from Manchester United's grasp, of trying to level the chance of the amount of trophies between these two in this competition. Of course, separated by one. Arsenal with 14 FA Cups, Man United with 13 FA Cups, and the last time actually Man United got to 13 in any trophy in terms of accumulation was the Premier League title back in, of course, 2013. All the 13s. It was their 13th Premier League title, but their 20th league title overall. And they have 13 FA Cups and want to make sure that they defend their title at the first time of asking. And so far, defending is what they've done, and done it very well up to this point of Manchester United. It's not that Arsenal have thrown the kitchen sink at them, but when they've been asked a question, on the rare occasion they've been asked a question by Arsenal, they have come up with the answer. Have Manchester United so far not really offering much up the other end themselves, and maybe we'll see them open up a bit more in the second half and see a bit more attacking flair from the visitors, as Timber takes this throw in for Arsenal, flicked on by Sterling, and again by Havertz, but he couldn't find Martinelli as United clear their lines, and Gabriel under pressure has to hoof it long a bit quicker than he would have liked, as he was under the pressure from Højlund. And that's good play by Lewis Skelly to win the throw-in off Garnacho. Quite a credit to Miles Lewis Skelly, the fact that he's come into this Arsenal side, his 14th senior appearance for the club today. Hasn't really looked out of his depth whatsoever. Hasn't really looked out of his depth in any of the games that he's played for the Gunners at senior level, which is total credit to him. Oh, that's poor play by Marino in midfield. Fernandes there to pick up the pieces, try and send Højlund on a run. It was a bit of an optimistic one, but it's worth the try. And Arsenal recovered comfortably with their two centre-backs and their goalkeeper. Here is Saliba. Not really seen of much of Rasmus Højlund today. Not really had much to go off all afternoon. I'm sure he's hoping for one or two chances in the second half that can maybe get him a goal. As Arsenal get the free kick there. Havertz brought down by Nasir Mazraoui. Arsenal there keeping the ball at the back. We just had a glimpse of an Arsenal legend in Martin Keown. He certainly had his scuffles with Manchester United in the past, and begrudgingly I think he would be quite happy with how, well, from a defensive point of view, happy how United have defended, but not from an Arsenal point of view, as they've given it away here with Garnacho now with the ball. Finds Højlund. Menu keeps it alive as United try and capitalise upon Arsenal giving the ball away cheaply. Have it at the back though with Martinez, who himself was on a last warning by the referees, already on a yellow, and really pushed his luck with the yellow. So maybe his next poor foul will be a second yellow, but we'll keep an eye on that one. He'll have to be careful. As Arsenal have it back now with Jorginho. Here is Gabriel. Feisty ball out to the left, kept in by Martinelli. Lots of fizz on that ball, lots of pace as Martinelli in behind. Oh, and Miles Lewis-Skelly was taken out there by Disallowed. That's going to be a yellow card. He was hacked down there on the edge of the box by the Portuguese. And that is going to be a booking and a free kick for the Gunners on the edge of the box. Yeah, I just noticed that at the start of the second half, Mazraoui and Disallowed have just switched sides. So Mazraoui's out on the left wing, as left wing back, and Disallowed as right wing back for the second half, which is a bit of a swap. And now Arsenal have this free kick from Disallowed's first real defensive duty. From this side, he's given away a cheap free kick and conceded a yellow, and given away a yellow card as well. Or gotten a yellow card, shall I say. Martinelli will take this free kick. Just trying to set the ball into the right spot for himself to get the best connection. Well, Odegaard's over to give some advice, but he's not going to be taken at the Arsenal captain. And there's 6 Arsenal bodies lurking around the edge of the 6-yard box at the back post. And Odegaard giving instruction to the Brazilian. Will he sneak it in the near post, or will he deliver it for the 6 men waiting at the back post? Martinelli to take. 2-man wall from United. Martinelli fizzes it across. Headed away by Maguire. Odegaard tried to find Sterling, who's beaten to it by Ugarte, but Sterling battling back. Shoved over there, but it will be an Arsenal throw. Just no free kick there on that little shove. Brotherly shove, shall we say. Another goal at St James's Park to tell you about, and the Premier League side will be much happier now because they've taken the lead from the penalty spot. Anthony Gordon with the goal has Newcastle leading for the first time of the day, 2-1 to the Magpies. And Ipswich, by the way, could have made it 4. They missed from the penalty spot, so it's still 3-0 against Bristol Rovers, but it could have been more. As Ipswich still try and push for more, even though at the moment it looks like they're done and dusted and through, but whole half of football to go, you never know. Maguire, I'm going to switch it out to Disallowed, just about heads it forward, and Garnacho gets a good bounce off of Gabriel, and Arsenal caught out at the back here as Garnacho across. Fernandes! Manchester United have caught Arsenal napping at the back, and the Manchester United captain giving the visitors the lead. What a counter-attack from United. What a finish by Bruno Fernandes, who was crying at the referee in the first half. And now he goes to that side of the Manchester United fans and roars in celebration. Mistake by Arsenal, pounced upon by United. And the reigning holders of the competition have taken the lead at the Emirates. Great switch ball by Maguire. Disallowed wins the first header. The flick on, maybe a bit of a good bounce off Gabriel. Garnacho's there to pop up to carry it forward against Gabriel. Breezes past him down the right hand side, and he squares it to the edge of the box for his captain to finish, and that is certainly a finish of top quality by Bruno Fernandes. Just rolls around the inside of the side netting. Picture perfect from Manchester United. And the holders are here to not only defend their trophy, but attack this competition. And they take the lead inside 7 minutes of the second half. Oh, here Arsenal want a response. Good shot charged down by the United defence. The game opening up now. This is what we wanted. Martinelli with a cross. Headed away by Maguire. Sterling with a shot. Well off target. And Disallowed clears it away. That was nowhere near a threat from Raheem Sterling. The Arsenal fans even more motivated than they were before, with their side now trailing and having to break forward with more pace and power and threat. This time, Martinelli. 2 in cover for United. They will defend this lead even more staunchly than they kind of defended the 0-0. Martinelli with a cross. Maguire heads it down, back into the danger zone. And the shot is wide by Kai Havertz. Oh, what a chance. Oh, what a chance. The game's gone into absolute chaos at the moment. Nice recycling of the ball by Arsenal. And Martinelli whips it across. Maguire's header straight down to the feet. I think that might be I'm trying to see who that was in the middle there. And then it falls back to Kai Havertz. And he just tries to place it in the top corner. And as he's leaning back, he takes the touch, leaning back, and side foots it wide. Mikel Arteta applauding his side, clapping his side, and saying that was great. But they haven't found the net still. Mainu now. United want more. Here's Disallowed down the right to Garnacho. Whips it across. Not a great cross by Garnacho. Goal kick. Arsenal still without a shot on target. And that is really dismal. And the travelling United fans can be heard the loudest in that far corner. There's still a long way to go, still 35 minutes, but Manchester United defended for their lives in the first half, and on the first real break of the second half, promising attack, counter-attack for them. They work it, craft it beautifully, and get the lead. And Odegaard there is a pull on Moreno by Ugarte. And that's going to see Manuel Ugarte booked as well. So a couple of Manchester United players on yellows. And Disallowed was also booked in this half. Bruno Fernandes was booked in the first half. Martinez as well. And Manuel Ugarte becomes the 4th Manchester United player on a booking. So that might come into the thinking for Ruben Amorim in substitutions late in this game. Auto Insight says, come on United, stick it to those runners. I think Gunners, I'm guessing. Free kick for Arsenal. Quite a distance out, about 30-ish yards out, 30 or so yards out. Odegaard will take. Will whip it in. I won't be surprised if he takes it directly from here. Even better than Ronaldo's anyway. Odegaard delivers in. Round the back post. Maguire again with a clearance. And Manchester United want a counter. Wanted a handball, did the Arsenal fans on Højlunds. But it's actually going to be a free kick to United for a foul on Kobbie Mainoo. Certainly since scoring that goal, Manchester United and Arsenal have upped their ante. And I actually want to correct an earlier yellow card situation and say that Manuel Ugarte wasn't booked. It looked like he was initially booked, Manuel Ugarte, but it was actually Kobbie Mainoo who was booked for delaying the restart. So Ugarte isn't on a yellow card, it's Mainoo who's on a yellow card, but it is still 4 United players in the referee's book and having to watch themselves with around about 30 or so minutes to go, and Arsenal throwing everything they've got at this night. And they've got to. They went out at the 3rd round against Liverpool last season. Liverpool won 2-0 on this ground. And they came here in January of the last campaign, knocking Arsenal out of their, what they would call their trophy, their competition. And it looks like the reigning holders, Manchester United, might just be doing it here once again. Ugarte though, silly giveaway, gives it to Kai Havertz. Arsenal with bodies forward, into Sterling, flicks it on now, cut back to Odegaard. Shot well blocked, still alive as Havertz tried to head it down in the box there, but United thump it away as Højlund holds it up well. Here's Garnacho. Arsenal player down, but the referee's playing advantage. Mazraoui on the break. Højlund through the middle. Mazraoui to Garnacho across. Well blocked. And it will be a corner to Manchester United. Timber had to get back, but there's an Arsenal player down towards the halfway line. It is William Saliba, who thought he was kind of elbowed in the face there. That's a bit dramatic. Like, there's not really much in that at all. I mean, there is a swing back by Højlund, but he's just trying to hold his man off. It's good hold-up play and maybe a bit weak from William Saliba, to be honest. I think the referee got that one right. And Arsenal get a bit lucky they didn't concede from that counter-attack. They do have to defend the corner, which could be an ironic one. And Saliba's not allowed back on because he's received treatment, so Arsenal down to 10 at the moment, defending this corner. And it will be United's first corner of the game. Bruno Fernandes to take, left-hand side. Right-footed delivery to the back post. Palmed away by Raya, but I think the free kick was going to be given for Arsenal anyway. Højlund was lurking, completely unmarked at the back post. But lots of bodies further forward than that, and there was a slight foul on someone there of Arsenal persuasion. Yet it's Gabriel just shoved over by Disallowed, and there's a free kick to Arsenal. Third goal for Newcastle against Bromley, so they're starting to take control of that game now. Are the home side, and a bit of cushion for Newcastle. William Osula with the third goal for Newcastle have them ahead. And after an early scare when Bromley took the lead in that game. But 3 goals without response for Newcastle, and they are cruising and controlling in that one. Oh, that's a late challenge by Disallowed, and this might be a second yellow. The referee shows him a red, and Manchester United may be harming their own chances of going through. Their own worst enemy, and Diogo Dalot on a yellow gets shown a second yellow and is going to be going for an early bath. Yeah. Comes sliding in, gets none of the ball, and he's showing his studs. I mean, some would even argue that's a red on its own. Never mind being on a yellow. That's a dangerous one by Dalot. Certainly a yellow card. And Manchester United down to 10. And now this really will be a dogged fight with less than 30 minutes to go. United down to 10, but leading by a goal to 0. I think there was a yellow card or something shown to one of the United coaching staff, whatever that was about. We'll figure that out and let you know, but there was someone shown a card. And now Ruben Amorim has to make 1 or 2 changes, and there's an issue here because Garnacho tried to stop the free kick, and Arsenal are going to have to take it again. I think the referee's a bit of an absolute mess to try and sort out here. It's got a bit chaotic now. Arsenal take the free kick short. Here is space down the left-hand side. Martinelli looking for a way through. Whips the cross in. Punched away by Deer. Not fully clear. As the shot taken and find the back of the net. Lovely strike by Gabriel. And Manchester United no sooner down to 10 than their lead taken away from them too. And Gabriel with a lovely half-volley finish to level the game. And surely Man United are certainly on the back foot now. Down to 10. And Arsenal with the momentum, with a lot of time to win it. Lovely finish. Great cross by Martinelli, flicked away by the punch of Deer, bouncing down, and it takes a deflection as it goes through. But it's a wonderful strike by Gabriel. The audacity to take it there. Left-footed, it bounces up, it bounces off the United defender, and into the back of the net for Arsenal. Slight bit of fortune for the deflection. But Arsenal back level. And now they certainly have a massive advantage with the extra man on the pitch as well. Arsenal 1, Man United 1. The game is no doubt on now. Arsenal come forward again. United will get the foul. There's bodies flying everywhere at the minute. This game has gone absolute chaos. As Garnacho gets back to his feet. Yeah, Martinelli and Garnacho battling there. They both go down. Well, it's Garnacho that goes down and Martinelli kind of trips up. But it is a foul from the Arsenal player. And it will be a free kick to Manchester United. What a difference around about 3 or 4 minutes makes. 4 or 5 minutes ago, Manchester United were leading 1-0. They had both got 11 players on the pitch. And at times they were actually looking to add to their lead. And in a matter of minutes, they're down to 10. And Arsenal are back on terms. And with the ascendancy, with the momentum. And surely say, a tough task for United. With 25 minutes still to go. There's a long way to go. Odegaard. Sterling. Down the right hand side. Sterling beats past his man. Gets to the byline. Sterling with a cutback. The shot bouncing up. And the shot is wide. By Mikel Merino. But Arsenal feel it. The energy has changed inside the Emirates. Really good run by Raheem Sterling down the right hand side. Blasts his way past Mazraoui like he's not there. I mean, really poor defending by Mazraoui. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. And then there was a player in the middle, I think it might have been Timber, that got the first touch on it. It comes bouncing across to Merino. Has the shot deflected wide and behind for the Arsenal corner. The energy palpable inside the Emirates. And this is where Arsenal can be a threat. Odegaard to deliver. Left-footed, whipped in. To the near post this time. Well dealt with as Garnacho clears it away for the throw-in around about the halfway line. Arsenal don't want to lose this momentum. Want to keep the energy. The ball comes out to the left-hand side. Havertz. Martinelli. Back to Kai Havertz. Oh, stolen away from Merino here. It's Garnacho. Oh, sorry, not Garnacho. Ugarte tries to battle with Mikel Merino. The ball still stayed in play. No fouls as the referee as Højlund picks it up. It's just gone really chaotic. There's challenges flying in everywhere. What do Man United do now? With a quarter of the game remaining, they're certainly on the back foot at this stage, and it's going to be such a hard task, but it's all about kind of zapping the energy out of this stadium. And there's one way you can try and do it. The ball down the left. Højlund. Back to Menu. Mazraoui snatched upon, but United keep the ball forward, and the last touch off a United player. Goal kick Arsenal. And Arsenal want to get the lead very quickly. They don't want to waste any time, you know. At 1-1, if they don't hurry up and get that second, maybe that will give United more confidence that they can defend this and see it further towards the latter stages. But at the same time, Arsenal can't be too drastic, too dramatic and throw too many bodies forward, as they've already been caught out on the counter-attack in this one. Here's Sterling. Lovely skill by Raheem Sterling. And ultimately was stopped by Mazraoui. And Arsenal keep the possession. That's the crucial point. Man United not given any sort of respite in the last 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes that would be. Because here comes Havertz. Sterling. Back to Havertz in the box. Goes down. Penalty. Penalty to Arsenal. Kai Havertz goes down under a challenge. Harry Maguire is bewildered, confused, baffled by the decision. And Harry Maguire, I mean, his reactions are Oscar worthy here. I'll say it again. Lovely skill by Sterling to break into the box. Plays it across to Havertz. And Maguire just shoves him to the ground. I mean, that's quite a simple penalty, to be honest. I don't know what Maguire's complaining about. He's nowhere near the ball. No attempt to play the ball. And he kind of shoves it. Although it's all kicked off. We've just shown a replay. And now it's all kicking off here. Maguire's lost his cool completely. And he's gone haywire. Like a rabid dog. Harry Maguire's going nuts. I think it's a bit dramatic to go a bit nuts, and I think the referee's just going to call him over and try and settle the game. There's a lot of pushing and shoving and thrumping, and the referee just watching. There's a few bodies fly to the floor. Ugarte's one. Trying to see who the other one was. It was an Arsenal player that went down. Yeah, it was Kai Havertz, and oh, it might be a headbutt from Ugarte here as well. Goodness me. I told you this game's gone to chaos. And there's no VAR, so the referee has no help. But the fact that he's make his own decisions, or even what the assistants can see. Well, you know, when there's no VAR, there's always going to be something. The referee's had an absolute mess to try and mop up and figure it all out. But after all that drama, it will be a penalty to Arsenal. That's easily forgotten that Arsenal were even given a penalty with all that after drama. But it is a penalty and a chance for Arsenal to take the lead. There was a card out by Andy Madley, but there's no indication as to who it was shown to. But if I had to take a wild guess, it would be Harry Maguire. But I've no guarantees on that. And now Altay Bayindir has work to do against Martin Odegaard, the Arsenal captain. A chance to give the Gunners the lead in what has been a chaotic last 10 minutes. Can it be in threes? The red card for United, the Arsenal equalizer. Odegaard steps up and saved by Bayindir. Great save by the Manchester United keeper. United fans and players will say that's justice for the penalty being given, which they didn't agree with. Of course they wouldn't agree. In my opinion, it looked a penalty quite simply. Some would say it was harsh. I would say it's a penalty, but a good save by Altay Bayindir. Odegaard does well. Tries to find that bottom right corner, and Bayindir covers some ground to get across. It's a good penalty, but it's a fabulous save by Altay Bayindir. And that's the type of inspired performance that Manchester United need if they're going to progress with all the circumstances we have just seen in the last 10 minutes. It's that type of inspiration they're going to need if they are going to find a way through. And after that, Arsenal are going to make a change then. And it is going to be Mikel Merino going to be leaving the field. And Declan Rice is going to be coming on. So a straight swap in midfield. I can tell you that yellow card did come out. Both Harry Maguire and Gabriel were booked for those. They kind of got head-to-head clashes, but there was nothing more than just a bit of scuffling between the two, and they both got yellow cards. So 5 Manchester United players on yellows. Of course, one has been sent off, of course. So 4 on the field on yellows, and a first Arsenal yellow card of the day for Gabriel. The advantage, the momentum, and the flow of the game surely still with Arsenal, but that penalty save will reignite the United fans' hopes of maybe something miraculous in the latter stages of this game for their 10 players on that field. And there's Timber there, just kind of pushed over by Garnacho. And free kick to Arsenal. Again taken quickly. Sterling. On to Odegaard. Arsenal pushing and probing, as you will expect they will do until the 90 minutes to try and find a winner. Remember, if it's level after 90, extra time and then penalties to decide a winner. The way things are going, it doesn't look like that will be necessary. The way this game is absolutely madness at the moment. There is only 15 minutes between now and the 90. Odegaard. We're going to switch it across. Brought down by Martinelli. Quickly on the scene of the United defenders. Martinelli flicked on for Lewis Skelly, who was onside. Back to Martinelli. Jorginho. Gabriel. And Lewis Skelly again. Right on the left is Martinelli with a cross. Away by Maguire. And hooked away by Bruno Fernandes. For Saliba will just recycle it back with his goalkeeper. And Arsenal will come forward again. Jorginho. Down the right hand side comes Odegaard. Now Timber. It's to Sterling now. Into the box. Outside of the box is Odegaard. Lifts it across. The header! What a save! What a save by Altair again. Lovely lifted ball over the top by Odegaard, and Rice was the target. Rice got the header. And the Manchester United goalkeeper with a miraculous save. A fabulous full stretch punch over the bar to deny Declan Rice a goal. And he's only on the field 3 minutes, Rice, and he almost had Arsenal in front. Arsenal corner. But though, Altair has a bit of an issue with his left hand at the moment, so he's going to have to receive a bit of treatment, which is going to stop the game for the moment. Rice has come ever so close. And maybe the way he falls has affected Altair there after that save, which needs him to get a bit of treatment. Yeah, maybe just falls on that hand. Oh my goodness me. All the build up to this game is about the history, about the kind of real ruthless nature and the real kind of fighting spirit, the dogged-edged games that these two have had over the years, and the Wenger and Ferguson eras. It might not be quite that with Arteta and Amorim, but today it has certainly been a chaotic game, no doubt about it. As Bayern still down, receiving treatments. And it's easy to forget that Manchester United were actually took the lead, and they were probably looking pretty positively upon this second half for a while. It's easy to forget when they went 1-0 up with Bruno Fernandes. That second yellow for Diogo Dalot, followed by that Arsenal equaliser just 2 minutes after that red card. And then that penalty saved by Bayern from Odegaard just moments ago. It has been a mad last 15 minutes. But it's certainly what makes the FA Cup as incredible as it is. That's why we love this competition. That's why we love this sport. So unpredictable. You never know what's going to come next. And that makes it even more exciting for what's left to play as Bayendir comes back to his feet and the medical staff leave the field. So we will continue now. And he is okay. Elder Bayendir. Already made some big saves in the last few minutes. The penalty and then that Declan Rice header. Odegaard to take this corner on the right hand side. The 6-yard box packed full of players from both teams. But the corner taken short. Rice, edge of the box, Jorginho with a cross. Away by Delict. Kept alive by Jorginho, brought down by Rice. Odegaard out in the right. Feeds it back towards Rice, but cleared away by Martinez. Arsenal throw. Still all the same elsewhere. Crystal Palace leading Stockport by a goal to nil. Ipswich 3 up against Bristol Rovers and Newcastle 3-1 up against Bromley. So the 3 Premier League teams playing against lower league opposition at home from 3 o'clock are all heading through at the moment. But more can come. Triple change here from Manchester United incoming. Joshua Zirkzee, Tony Collier and Amad Diallo are all going to be coming on. Is it Tony Collier? Collier the youngster. Toby Collier, apologies. So Kobbie Mainoo is one of those coming off. As the 4th official works out his numbers. Rasmus Højlund is going to be the other one coming off. And the 3rd change was Garnacho for Amad. So Garnacho, Mainoo and Højlund all off. And Amad, Collier and Zirkzee on for Manchester United late here. A mix of changes in attack and more defensively, with Collier coming on, more defensive midfielder. Coming on to try and shore up that midfield as well, and some fresh legs for this United team late in the game. Also pace on the counter to try and win it as well. Good mix from Ruben Amorim with 9 minutes of normal time to go. Here's Martinelli. Gets past Amad. Byline cuts it back across, but it had crossed the byline. Across the goal line before he got it across. And it goes behind for a goal kick. Well spotted by the assistant on that side. First time I'm mentioning it as well, on the south coast. Southampton taking on Swansea, another Premier League side at home against lower league opposition. That was a 4:30 kickoff, so that game will be going to around about 6:20 if it ends after 90 minutes. So those two, while it is in play, the draw will be done while that game is in play, so it will be either or when their ball is taken out. And we'll keep the date with that score right up until we finish our game here between Arsenal and Man United. At the moment, it will be going to another 30 minutes of play at this stage. There's still 8 minutes plus the additional time for that to change before the 90 minutes concludes. Of course, no replays, extra time and penalties to decide a winner if necessary. Saliba to Gabriel. Now to Lewis Skelly. Out to Martinelli on the left. Martinelli looking for that cross again. Maguire with a header. Cleared away by Mazraoui, but Arsenal pick it up on the edge of the box. Sterling wants to take on Mazraoui, who times his challenge well and slides it out for the Arsenal throw. Sterling. Want to keep the pressure on United. Don't want to let up Arsenal. Odegaard. And through the lines, but an offside flag goes up against the Arsenal man there. As the Arsenal fans watch on, much more subdued than those United fans away to the far right hand side. Maybe more nerves than anything for the home side and for the home support. But if they score, the energy will change insurmountably. Havertz, lovely ball forward. This is a nice move. Martinelli to Sterling. Sterling with bodies in the middle. Sterling's cross cleared away by Ahmad. Out to Odegaard. Now it will be Saliba. And Rice dispossessed and cleared away by United, but Arsenal back in the mix. At the moment, it's all Arsenal again. With the man advantage, they want to take the advantage and take the lead. Jorginho out wide to Sterling. Has to go backwards again. As Arsenal pushing forward and United all their bodies back. Odegaard with the delivery into the box and a comfortable catch for Bayern's. We'll try and eke out as many seconds as possible. Don't forget, after the final whistle of this game between Arsenal and Manchester United, the draw for the fourth round will be completed. The winner of this tie will be ball number 2 in the draw, and that is either we finish after 90 minutes or after the extra time and penalties. The draw will be done from the conclusion, after the conclusion of this game, and whichever way it does conclude, and whatever time it does conclude. But we will have the details for you, and we'll keep you to date with all of that. And you will have the fourth round draw in full. All 16 ties will be confirmed on our socials, on X, Instagram, TikTok, and on our YouTube community page, and on YouTube Shorts as well. So you will have so many outlets from LFS to find the FA Cup fourth round draw a bit later on this evening. Here's Sterling into Jorginho. Gabriel now. Out to Saliba. Odegaard. Jorginho. Gabriel. Lewis Skelly. Out to Martinelli on the left. Martinelli. And up that cross. Does go for it the second time. Well blocked by Ahmad. Brought down by Xerxes, who uses his footwork to break away from 2 Arsenal players. And Xerxes. Out down the right hand side comes Ahmad. Collier bursting into the box. Ahmad to Xerxes. Try to place it. Still alive as Raya puts off Ahmad. Goal kick. But that was a chance. The 3 United substitutes bursting up the other end to try and create a chance. And that would have been remarkable if they had found the net on that occasion. Ahmad bursting down the right. Cuts it back to Xerxes. Tried to place it. Blocked by Sterling on the cover. And then as Ahmad tried to get on the end of the rebound, Raya come crashing out. Just put him off as he slid for the ball, Ahmad. He puts it out for a goal kick. And maybe caught a stray boot as he was sliding through. That was a chance for United. Here's Rice. Rolls it out to Martinelli on the left. Takes on Fernandez, who's dropped deep to help out defensively. Round the back, cross in, headed away by Mazraoui. Saliba there to meet it on the edge of the box. Keeps it alive to Sterling on the right hand side. 2.5 minutes of normal time to go. Sterling. Odegaard. Odegaard with the delivery. Flick down and over the bar. Oh my goodness. Kai Havertz hasn't just missed one glorious opportunity. He's missed 2 in this game. And that is the difference once again. Martin Odegaard with a scintillating delivery. And it bounces right for Kai Havertz at the back post. All he has to do is direct it in. And as he chests it down, it directs off his left boot and goes just over the bar. What an opportunity. Bayern was merely just a body in the way and couldn't do very much about it. And he more had to rely on Kai Havertz missing that one. And the miss he did. as Mikel Arteta, as much as anyone else inside this stadium and watching at home, is in disbelief as to how that didn't go in. Wow. Wow. There we are. Could that be the lifeline that Manchester United need? With a minute to go of normal time. There's a goal at Southampton as well. Southampton have taken the lead against Swansea. They lead by a goal to nil. In that one, Kamaldeen Sulemana with the goal. Just looking at the stats, 13. That was 14 shots for Arsenal to Man United's 5, but both have only had 3 on target. Man United much more accurate with their shots than Arsenal, and it's a free kick here going against the Gunners, which hears a roar from the away crowd, and a free kick for Manchester United in Arsenal's half. See it again, it's Sterling here, kind of involved, just shoves Mamadou Ugarte over as he tries to win the ball. It is a foul. There's not much real argument that Raheem Sterling can have to that one. And a free kick for Manchester United. Fernandes over it, and a few bodies up for Manchester United. Ball delivered in by Fernandes, across by Maguire, but reared into the hands of David Raya. 7 added minutes, and Arsenal on the burst here down the right hand side. Raheem Sterling trying to find a way through. Sterling weaving his way through 3 and charged down with a shot, and Odegaard not given the chime by Toby Collier, who thumps it away. But Arsenal with another chance on the break there, and Sterling leading the charge. Tension, unpredictability. Who knows what's going to happen next? I can tell you, I certainly bloody don't. Saliba. 6 minutes to go before we will head to extra time as it stands, with this being a level game at the moment. Gabriel out to the left for Martinelli. Martinelli breaks past Ahmad, gets the ball into the box, back post, and Mazraoui has to rescue it behind for the corner. Had to take no risks there. Had to just put it away because he never knew what was behind him there, Noussair Mazraoui. And it's another Arsenal corner. Corner number 5 for Arsenal. Not quite the 13 they had against United here at the start of December, and not quite as threatening as they were on that night. But now's the time, if they're going to be a threatening corner for Arsenal. Odegaard to take on the right hand side. Again, very congested 6-yard box. Odegaard's delivery hicked away at the front post by Collier. Sterling brings it down. Sterling will cross to the back post, chested down by Gabriel, but he couldn't find a teammate or take it himself as Mazraoui tries to break away for United. Turns back on himself and just keeps United on the ball for the moment with Ugarte. Lost it and got it back and lost it again, and given away to Gabriel. Now Havertz. Fizz it into space here for William Saliba. Or the shot is dragged wide. It was Jurrien Timber, sorry. It had the shot. Dragged wide. Again, nice idea by Kai Havertz. Spotted the man in space. Switched it across and Timber took the shot. Didn't catch it anywhere near well enough. Dragged well wide for a goal kick. All of those 3 o'clock kickoffs come to a close. Palace beating Stockport by a goal to nil. They're through. Ipswich 3-0 winners against Bristol Rovers. They're into the hat for the 4th round. And Newcastle came back from an early scare from Bromley to win 3-1. And they are in the mix for round 4. As you know, Southampton won up against Swansea, but a long way to go in that one. And here at the moment, with 3.5 minutes of additional time, it is still level, and extra time and penalties are lurking. Unless Rice, Martinelli, edge of the box for Jorginho. Rice in behind in the box. Rice across! And all the way through and out the other end for a goal kick. Arsenal have come close more than enough times today. He's well onside, Rice, as he takes it into the box. And the shot, it does take a touch, I think, off the keeper on the way through. That's ever so close. Odegaard with another corner chance. Less than 3. Odegaard, left-footed delivery. Headed away by Xerxes. Kept alive. Oh, given away, though, cheaply by Lewis Skelly. Arsenal on a bit of danger here because Man United on the brick with Xerxes. Got Ahmad on the run. Ahmad through. Keeper smothers it, but Xerxes with an empty net. The flag was up anyway. My goodness me. This is what you call an FA Cup thriller. Oh, he might have been just onside there, Ahmad. Didn't matter. Didn't find the back of the net. But Arsenal want to come forward again. Odegaard through to Sterling. Sterling trying to get it across. Just about sneaks out. Will be a corner. Took a deflection. 2 minutes to go. Arsenal with another corner. Their third corner in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Arsenal piling everything they've got on Manchester United. United starting to feel that pressure. But can they hold it for at least another 90 seconds to deny what would be an eruption if Arsenal were to score? Odegaard to deliver again. Left footed, it's whipped deep to the back post. And it's headed out by his own man. Goal kick. Well, unless there is something crazy happening in the next 60 seconds, it looks like we might have another 30 minutes to come here at the Emirates. And just as their nearest rival Spurs had to do away at Tamworth, Arsenal and Man United will tussle for another 30 here, unless there's some unbelievable late drama. Raya under pressure. Does thump it away. Odegaard with a flick. Arsenal, maybe one last chance as Odegaard's ball is retrieved by Harry Maguire. Martinelli wants to keep Maguire honest, and he sends it long. Trying to give Arsenal the ball back. Xerxes lurking here, trying to upset Arsenal. Timber couldn't keep the ball. Still time. Xerxes lays it off to Fernandez. Now Mazraoui. Back to Fernandez. Edge of the box here for United. Fernandez into the box it goes. All the way through. Ahmad couldn't reach it. Xerxes couldn't reach it. Arsenal defending it. And that is the end of the 97 minutes. And we are heading to extra time at the Emirates. After 97 hard-fought minutes here at the Emirates, it is level game. And some may forget that Manchester United are still down to 10 in this one. Arsenal have had a man advantage for about 30 minutes. They got their equalizer shortly after the sending off, but haven't been able to add to that goal scoring. And after the end of 90 minutes and heading to extra time, it's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. The extra time on the way next. welcome back to FA Cup Live for the third round, as it has been an absolute barnstormer at the Emirates between Arsenal and Manchester United, heading to extra time after 97 long hard-fought minutes between the two teams. It is no separation between the two, 1-1, and Man United down to 10 as well in the game. We can bring you up to date with all the other games that have taken place this afternoon. In those earlier games, Hull and Doncaster fought it all the way to the very end, and penalties were needed to decide a winner in that one. Doncaster winning that on penalties. Tottenham beat Tamworth by 3-0 in the end there, as they were taken all the way to extra time. Palace 1-0 winners at home to Stockport County. Ipswich 3-0 winners against Bristol Rovers, and Newcastle came behind from an early scare from Bromley of League 2 to dispatch the lower league side by 3-1. Southampton, as I said, leading by 1-0 against Swansea. Only 32 minutes gone on that one. Kamaldeen Sulemana with the goal in that FA Cup tie. Already that have booked their place in the fourth round, the likes of Cardiff, Everton, Fulham, Wycombe, Aston Villa, Birmingham, Wolves, Blackburn, Liverpool, Leicester, Bournemouth, Plymouth, Chelsea, Exeter, Brighton, Forest, Burnley, Stoke, Leeds, Man City and Coventry City, amongst all of those teams that have played and won today. So we are just, at the moment, 3 games to decide who will be the last 3 teams in the fourth round. Will it be Arsenal and Man United, Southampton or Swansea, or Millwall and Dagenham and Redbridge? Those are the final 3 games still to be concluded and decided. The fourth round draw will be completed after the conclusion of this game at the Emirates, or whether that be after extra time or after penalties. It doesn't really matter, because it will be concluded. Done after the conclusion of this one here. Well, both sides need to regroup, get themselves ready, get themselves set. And get ready to go another 30 minutes. 2 15-minute halves. If you're unfamiliar, 2 15-minute halves, and then if it's level after 120 minutes of play, we will go to a penalty shootout to decide the winner. A change for Arsenal, by the way, heading into extra time. Leandro Trossard has come on and he has replaced Miles Lewis-Skelly. And United have made a change of their own. Manuel Ugarte has come off, and it looks like Tyrell Malacia has come on for Manchester United. So they will do the coin toss, it seems, for extra time. I don't even know what Ruben Amorim is complaining about. He's complaining on the sidelines again. They have to do this. It is protocol. You have to do a little toss and decide who's getting the kick-off to make it fair. And we're back to where we were from the first half. Both sides kicking to where they were kicking in the first half. So Arsenal from left to right, United from right to left. And then it will be the opposite for the final 15 minutes of the extra time period. First extra time of the big Premier League game, Premier League meetings in terms of the FA Cup. And we're on the way for extra time. So 30 more minutes. As I said, we've already seen extra time appear today. Spurs going to extra time and winning in extra time, and Hull and Doncaster going the distance to the penalty shootout earlier this afternoon. Will be one of the two that will decide the winner in the next 45 minutes, you would probably have to say. 45 minutes to an hour, we will know whether it will be Arsenal or United. Whether that be after extra time or penalties is still to be figured out. Arsenal, ball over the top, down the left. Martinelli couldn't keep it in play. Goal kick. Again, showing their intention from the off here, Arsenal. They're not here to play about. Well, they haven't been, again, as clinical as probably they should have been against 10 men. And the pressure and power that they put on Manchester United, and the sheer amount of opportunities that they created against the 10 in navy blue. They probably should have found a winner, but they didn't. Declan Rice with 2 huge chances, both saved. Havertz with a big chance over the bar, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second. Missed chances have been a pretty common occurrence as of recently for Arsenal. And more this afternoon. They've missed 4 big chances as of recorded this afternoon, Arsenal. Again, the lack of clinical finishing, the lack of ruthlessness in and around the box has them in this position. But credit to United, they've hung on in there. Needed a bit of luck, needed a bit of fortune. But when you're down to 10 away from home against a top Premier League side, as there a ball in behind, over the top and gathered by Bayindir. As I was saying, if you're down to 10 men for 30 minutes away at a big Premier League side and a close, tight FA Cup tie, you're going to need a bit of luck, a bit of fortune. And Arsenal have practically given that to Manchester United in this second half. Or in the second half, sorry. So now into the first half of extra time. It's the first game that we have covered on LFS in the FA Cup this season. It's gone to extra time. Our last 2, the home side in the Premier League were victorious in 90 minutes. Aston Villa on Friday night, Liverpool yesterday. Both victorious in their battles, but this one, an all Premier League tie of much closer persuasion. There's a free kick for Arsenal there. I was a bit confused. The goalkeeper gathered it outside the box, but it was a free kick for Arsenal, which they've taken quickly. Odegaard to Gabriel, who got that equalizer for Arsenal after 63 minutes. Had the chance to take the lead from the penalty spot that was saved by Bayindir from Martin Odegaard. They've had chances galore. Here's Declan Rice, charged down by De Ligt. That's the 3rd chance Declan Rice has had since coming onto the field. And another one not finding the target. 2 saved and now 1 blocked. Declan Rice is certainly a threat in those half spaces in around that left side of the box. United have failed to struggle, or have struggled to deal with it so far since coming on for Declan Rice. With the pressure, and they've certainly not made it count for Arsenal anyway. As Odegaard takes this free kick. Good distance out, but 30 odd yards. Whipped into the box by Odegaard and flicked on, but easily gathered from the head of Kai Havertz into the hands of Altay Bayindir. Second goal at St Mary's. It is now 2-0 to Southampton. A welcome kind of distraction from the Premier League struggles, and they are now 2-0 up against Swansea. Tyler Dibbling has doubled Southampton's lead. And Saliba gives it back to Raya, who sends it long. Maguire heads it down, but straight to Arsenal players, and Martinelli now, and the ball down the left-hand side for Trossard to chase. De Ligt is there on the scene. Trossard back to Martinelli, looking for a way through himself here. Gabriel Martinelli gets into the box, tries to go with a cut back, but lots of United bodies in the way. As Fernandes tries to go long, but goes straight out of the boundaries of the pitch. Throw into Arsenal. Taken quickly, but a deflection there as Mazraoui tried to clear it away. And it will be a corner to Arsenal down this left-hand side. It's the set-piece coach again shown. Well, there's not been much change in Arsenal set pieces. They haven't been the most threatening today from set pieces, but it only takes one. Rice to deliver from the left-hand side. I think it's his first corner he's going to be delivering here, Declan Rice. It was Martinelli that had been taking them from that left-hand side prior to this, but Rice being introduced, this is the first real chance for him to cross the ball into the box from a corner. Declan Rice to deliver. Right-footed to the back post and headed behind for another corner by Mazraoui. Trying to see if there was maybe a foul in there. United were trying to call for it on Bayindir, but there was nothing really that I could see. Did go to ground, but maybe under his own accord there, lack of balance. Corner for Odegaard to take on the right-hand side now this time. Left-footed, trying to sneak it across the front post, but well cleared away by Fernandes. As Arsenal retrieve it with Rice, around about the halfway line. It's all Arsenal at the moment. United maybe holding out, either for penalties or for one big chance up the other end as Malacia gets across to stop Raheem Sterling on a marauding run down the right. Goes out for an Arsenal throw. Odegaard ticks quickly. Sterling. Back across to Jorginho. Out to Sterling again. In behind, finding Kai Havertz, but the last touch is off the Arsenal centre forward. Goal kick. As the United fans continue to sing and continue to try and carry their side over the line. Full of fight, full of desire, full of heart. Today, Manchester United full of effort in this United team. In everything that they've tried to do today against Arsenal, they've given everything for it. You can see that. And you can see that United fans recognise that. And that's why they're applauding it and supporting it at the moment. Odegaard. Down the right. Sterling. Trying to flick it on, but well intercepted. Malacia tries to get it forward to Collier. Couldn't really get far with it. It's Fernandes trying to go zigzag. Back to De Ligt. Does find it out to Mazraoui. On the right hand side, 6 minutes of the first half of extra time to go. Arsenal retrieve it back from a Man United with not many bodies forward. United were always going to struggle from that position. Odegaard, out wide it goes. Martinelli, bodies in the box. Martinelli's cross is flicked away by Martinez and further cleared by Toby Collier. Out for the Arsenal throw. Certainly putting in their paces and putting through their paces by Arsenal or Manchester United, especially in extra time, as another Arsenal change will come. It will be Thomas Partey who will be coming on, and Urian Timber is going to be the one replaced. Partey instantly in the action, linking up with Sterling. Back to Thomas Partey. Cross now to Jorginho. Nice Saliba. Out to Partey again. As every time Partey gets on the ball, there's some boos. Ball over the top here. The shot! Oh, cleared off the line. Oh my goodness me. It's Leandro Trossard this time involved. Oh my god, I don't know whether it was a clearance or an awful shot. See it again, it comes across to Jorginho, chips it over the top. I think it was Havertz that made the run in behind, squares it across the 6-yard box. And it's Trossard and De Ligt. What a great clearance it is to get it away. I mean, that would have been miss of the century if that had been just a straight miss and not a clearance by the defender. And Collier there dragged down. And a free kick for Manchester United, dragged down by Kai Havertz. Free kick to United. The effort clearly shown, clearly seen. Maybe just getting United a better benefit now. There's a whole second half of extra time to come as well, so still a long way to go until we hit the 120-minute mark. Only at 101 at the moment, to the 102nd minute. It's Bayindir with a long kick from the free kick, headed away by Partey. Oh, but Fernandez's ball back to his keeper. That could have been nervous, that could have been dangerous if he wasn't watching there, the keeper. He was, luckily, and United kind of saved their blushes there. Goodness me. You don't want to be playing absolute stormers back to your keeper at this stage. Here is Arsenal again with Rice. Nice ball to find Partey. Thomas Partey. Out wide it goes to Sterling. Sterling. Nice 1-2 with Jorginho now out of guard. Across now to Trossard. Over the bar. Another one gone, I'm begging. And as Man United are going to make another change themselves. Of course, you get another substitution when you get extra time, and it looks like it will be Harry Maguire coming off and Lenny Yoro will be coming on. So a straight swap at centre-back. Harry Maguire, who gave away that penalty earlier, wasn't happy with doing it, and he's taking his time here. And Lenny Yoro will be coming on for United at the back. And credit to Harry Maguire today. Gets a lot of stick, but that back three of United today have done absolute excellent work defensively. I mean, giving away the penalty, it was a penalty, but other than that, in play, absolutely wonderful defensively. Very inspired defensive performance at times from United. That whole first half, they were as comfortable defensively at all. Whether that be Arsenal just being bad or United just being really comfortable, whatever it may be, but United certainly defended well today. That doesn't take it away from the fact that that Arsenal have been very wasteful at times. Very wasteful. Here's Trossard. Lays it off to Partey on the spin. Partey down the right-hand side for Havertz. Again, gets to the edge of the box. Hasn't many options as he tries to switch it for Martinelli. But the bounce will catch the Brazilian out. Goal kick. As we have hit 15 minutes in added time, and we will have 2 more in extra time, so 2 added minutes in extra time in the first half. Bayindir goes long, thumped away by Martinez, and that is a foul by Toby Collier. Free kick to Arsenal. A minute of the first half of extra time or so to go. Still 1-1. United down to 10. Arsenal still pushing for a second goal. That has so far evaded them, and at times incomprehensibly so. As the ball comes out to the left-hand side for Martinelli. Looking for a way through, looking for a cross, not getting either of those options as he's well marshalled by Mazraoui. Here is Martinelli again. Trossard. Back to Gabriel, sorry. Nice Saliba. Out to the right is Havertz. Partey. Nice Sterling. Partey. Odegaard trying to squeeze it through. Jorginho there to keep it alive. Cleared away. 20 seconds of the first half of extra time to go. And Arsenal still coming. I'm still trying to force the issue a bit at the moment. Sterling. Again, United. So rigid, so compact, so controlled defensively. United keeping the spaces to a minimum for Arsenal to try and find. Odegaard. 2 minutes are up. Ball swung out to the right. One last chance of the first half of extra time for Arsenal. Cross comes in. And it's flicked on and headed straight at Al-Tabian's ear. Yeah, good play out to the right hand side. Partey with a delivery. And then it's just headed on by Rice. And down the throat of Al-Tabian's ear. Yeah. It's just brought down by Bayendir. Goal kick. Oh well. Caught by the goalkeeper. And that is half time and extra time. So 108 minutes or so we've played, and still neither side can be separated from 1-1. It's all Arsenal with the intention. United with 10 men can't really do much more than try and defend this level score and maybe hope for a lucrative counter-attack. But the second half and extra time is on the way in just a moment. Another 15 minutes for someone to try and find a winner. Otherwise, we're going to penalties. Welcome back to FA Cup Live. The second half of extra time is on the way as the two teams in their huddles at the moment trying to do the very most to get themselves over the line. And it's only the third round of the competition, but as tense as ever in this huge battle at the Emirates. Arsenal, the record holders of this competition, don't want to go out at the third round for the second successive season. And Manchester United, the current holders of the competition, don't want to go out in the first asking of them to defend their trophy. A reminder that the fourth round draw will take place after the conclusion of the game, whether that be through extra time or penalties. The fourth round draw will be available after the full-time whistle. Another 15 minutes for a winner to be found. It's Arsenal that have the advantage, that have the momentum. But can they find it? Or can United, like they did for their first and only goal, find a lucrative counter-attack that can give them what will be a remarkable result? Oh, Partey with a loose pass. Xerxes, nice space here for Ahmad. This could be the lucrative counter-attack I'm talking about. Ahmad squares it back across for Xerxes with space at the edge of the box. Xerxes! Good save by David Raya. Needed to make it. Needed to do it. And that's the type of counter-attack, exactly what I'm saying. A mistake by Arsenal. A loose pass. A silly giveaway. Ahmad spots the run of Jerksey, who's completely unmarked as he comes down the left side. And he strikes it with a right. Takes a slight nick of an Arsenal player, and Raya forced into a save to parry it wide for the corner. That was sneaking in, but the keeper just directed it wide. And just corner number 2 for Manchester United of this whole game. Fernandes deliver. Right footed, punched away by Raya. Back out to Fernandes, who will let it roll for a throw. This is huge. That's a huge moment. Took a slight nick off the inside of the left boot from Thomas Partey, did the shot. And that maybe forced David Raya into the save. And all smiles was Ruben Amorim for his team there, who have had that have been inspirational since going down to 10 men. They've defended for their lives, they've fought for their lives, they've done everything possible to stop Arsenal. As Mazraoui throws himself around the pitch and throws an Arsenal player to the ground, which gets Arsenal a free kick in their own half. Gabriel. Saliba. Partey. Onto Odegaard. Now Sterling down the right. Sterling across to Partey. Out wide to Odegaard again with a bit of space. Into Sterling. Edge of the box. Sterling having to drag it away from Martinez. Round the right for Partey on the overlap. And blocked by Collier. Corner to Arsenal. Welcome in, Ross. Great to have you with us for this one late in the game. Tensions palpable. Corner taken short by Arsenal. Back out by Odegaard. And Partey keeps alive. The flick on header is caught by Altay Bayendir from Gabriel Martinelli. And a simple catch of the ball for the United goalkeeper. So just under 12 minutes of the 120 to go. Arsenal 1, Man United 1. United down to 10, but not down and out just yet. Most certainly giving Arsenal a good game for it with 10 men. Not giving them the easy path into the 4th round. Here's Saliba. To Partey. Saliba again. Across to Gabriel. Right to Sterling. Now Odegaard around about the edge of the box. Over the top from Odegaard. Sterling. The flag goes up for offside against Raheem Sterling. Half-time, by the way, in normal time of the 90 minutes. Half-time between Southampton and Swansea. It's Southampton 2, Swansea 0. So that game still in play, of course. Our final game of this 7-game Sunday outfit of FA Cup action. One more tie to come tomorrow night as Millwall host Dagenham and Redbridge in a London derby at the Den. The non-league side head to the Championship side. That'll be the final tie to be decided in round 3. Bruno Fernandes, lovely ball over the top. Here's Ahmad on the run. Collier breaks into the box. Xerxes there as well. Ahmad cuts it back to Fernandes. Feeds it to Collier. Toby Collier. Wide to Mazraoui across. Mazraoui, Ahmad with a header. Wide it goes. Another chance for Manchester United. They're throwing themselves at it now. They've no choice but to. Do or die moments with 10 to go in extra time. Let's try and find a winner or settle for a penalty shootout, and it seems United want to find a winner. Well, here comes Sterling. Ødegaard. Now Partey. Bodies flooding into the box for Arsenal. Ødegaard's delivery. Too high. Slightly too high for Havertz. Goal kick. I have to say, United's 2 chances in this second half of extra time have probably been more threatening than Arsenal's chances in the past 40 minutes of the game. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure in that. Since the penalty, there have been 2 good half chances. Declan Rice's few chances, but other than that, Arsenal haven't been peppering the United goal. 4 shots in the first half of extra time, 1 in the second half of extra time, so not thumping their way past United in extra time or Arsenal. United having 2 good chances of their own, showing that they're not out of this just yet. There's a stoppage here as Jorginho had a bit of an issue. As he's getting back to his feet. The United fans in full voice. They know they need to give their team everything, because their team is giving them everything on the field. And Jorginho doesn't look in a good way. He will be able to walk off the pitch, but he's walking off with a wince. And has to stop again. Well, there's already been an injury to Gabriel Jesus in the game. And Jurrien Timber has seemingly come off with an issue as well for Arsenal. So the injuries continue to pile, as it looks like Jorginho might be leaving the field as well. And Kieran Tierney is going to be coming on. So Jorginho off and Tierney on for the Gunners. A welcome return for Kieran Tierney. Absolutely ravaged by injuries himself since joining Arsenal. Bayindir will take this goal kick for United. 7 minutes of extra time remain. As that ball thumped in behind for Arsenal to chase here with Havertz. Mazraoui there to stop it in its tracks. Cleared away, but nice interception by Partey. Linking up with Sterling, and a foul against Manchester United. A foul on Raheem Sterling will give Arsenal a free kick. High on the right hand side. Yeah, he gets kind of all over. He's trying to climb on top of Raheem Sterling there. Is Bruno Fernandes. Clearly a foul. And a free kick. Taken quickly by Arsenal here. Here's Sterling trying to break into the box. Sterling trying to cut back. Well, marshalled by Malacia, goes down, still alive. Rice. Free kick's been given against Arsenal here. Sterling deemed to have committed a foul on Malacia. Sterling asking how. See it again. Yeah, he kind of pulls him and then shoves him over. Yeah, it's a good physical tussling between the two, but it is maybe a bit of a foul on Tyrell Malacia. And a free kick given to Manchester United. And we're edging ever closer to a penalty shootout at the Emirates. 48 touches in Man United's box, 212 passes in the final third, and they've only scored 1 goal. Arsenal take another free kick quickly. Trossard, Partey, bit of space movement, a movement here from Arsenal. Saliba into Rice. Rice down the left hand side. It comes to Tierney. Tierney will deliver. Oh, and that's a good ball. And it's headed out the other end by Tyrell Malacia for a corner. That was a lovely delivery by Kieran Tierney. There was no one in the middle for Arsenal to try and meet it, but it's a wonderful cross. We'll get an Arsenal corner as Malacia puts out at the back post. It would be only so Arsenal to win it from a corner if they were to do it. Could this be the chance? Ødegaard. Left-footed delivery. Whipped in, headed away by... I think that might have been Euro in there. And Arsenal will get a throw on the far right-hand side from Ahmad's header. Sterling. Trying to again stride his way into the box, but this time crowded out. Goal kick. And with less than 4 minutes remaining of extra time, surely getting to desperation point now if a winner is to be found before 120 minutes conclude and we edge to a penalty shootout. I mean, at this point I would love a penalty shootout. Who wouldn't? We all love a set of penalties. I mean, both sets of fans don't want that, but for the neutral, that would just cap off what has been a fantastic cup tie from start to finish. A penalty shootout would be the perfect ending. But is there to be a romantic, dramatic ending to extra time for one of these two teams? Kieran Tierney for Arsenal. To Gabriel. Nice Saliba. Down the right comes Ødegaard. Nice Sterling. Arsenal still passing around the edge of the box, waiting for a chance, waiting for an opportunity. Ødegaard will cross. The header will flick on. Just wide. Again by Kai Havertz. He has an alert. I think he certainly has an allergy to putting the ball on target. He's had a multitude of chances today, Kai Havertz, and he has not found the net by any of them. He's not even barely put them on target this afternoon. The finishing has continually been poor today from Arsenal. But whatever happens on this point forward, we're yet to find out player of the match, actually. I will decide that in a moment. Because there are a few candidates, but there's only one that really deserves it, and that's to be the United keeper, Altabi, saving that penalty, making a couple of crucial saves from open play as well. Massive today for United. Although, still a chance for Arsenal to try and win it. The free kick's been given against them. Foul in the box there on Mazraoui. And a free kick to Manchester United. It's Havertz again involved. But Bayindir, that penalty save was the twist, the turn that we all really didn't expect. When Arsenal got that penalty, you thought more often than not they're going to score this with Ødegaard. It's a good penalty, but it's a fantastic save from the spot from Bayindir. And then he continued to make some really good saves against Declan Rice a couple of times. Kai Havertz, one or two close opportunities. And some very good goalkeeping from Bayindir has denied Arsenal on occasion this afternoon. But that penalty save is the difference. That goes in, and you think Arsenal are in cruise control and could have maybe found a third to finish it. But at 1-1, Bayindir and the whole of the Manchester United team have done everything in their power with 10 men to carry Arsenal all the way to the end of extra time, and that is what they're ever so close to doing here. With 29 minutes 45 seconds on the clock at 30 minutes. We're on the verge of penalties. We'll see how long will be added on to the end of the 30, as there usually is added time and extra time, which is quite crazy, but it is usually the way. There will be 1 more minute. Last 60 seconds for a winner to be found. Ødegaard to Partey, deflected. Corner. This is the chance. This is the moment. Can Arsenal take it? Partey's shot deflected for a corner. It is what they love. Scoring from a corner. Is this their moment for Arsenal? This is surely the last chance before a possible penalty shootout. Martin Odegaard to take the penalty, or to take the corner, sorry. On the right hand side. 5 in white around the 6-yard box for Arsenal. Left footed delivery by Odegaard. Whipping, brought down. Cleared away by Lenny Yoro. Got a block on that header. Still alive though. Trossard. Flicked across. Gabriel trying to make the most of it. Throwing everything they've got at this now, Arsenal. But is there enough time for one more chance? The referee says yes. Sterling. On the right hand side. They have to keep it moving. Party with a delivery. Cleared away by Ahmad. And that's it. A penalty shootout will decide the winner in the third round at the Emirates. After 121 minutes, it is finished. Arsenal won, 10-man Manchester United won, and a penalty shootout will decide the winner. Penalties on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to FA Cup Live. It will be a penalty shootout to decide the winner of this third round tie between Arsenal and Manchester United. Altay Bayindir has already saved a penalty to deny Arsenal a second goal in normal time. And now this is a very different beast for the penalty shootout. It has been almost a clean sweep of home wins in the 3 o'clock kickers. The other 3 o'clock kickoffs all ended in home wins. Southampton are winning at home, but Tamworth beaten at home by Spurs and Doncaster beating Hull at home. So only 2 away wins in the competition today. So the home side certainly taking the advantage there. Whether that makes any difference for Arsenal or not, we will find out. But it's down to the keepers and down to the kickers of the penalties now. David Raya and Altay Bayindir both have history with saving penalties as of recently. But now is the big moment. Now it all comes down to this. Excuse me, the coin toss for the shootout. Martin Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes. The penalty will be taken down the side of where the United fans are. And it looks like Manchester United will be going first. Well, Bruno Fernandes has the ball, so it looks like Man United will be taking the first penalty. And they will be taking it towards their fans, I believe. So, as many advantages as you could need for a penalty shootout for Manchester United. Altay Bayindir still getting some information from the sidelines. He's not on the pitch, actually, at the moment. They're going to need him in a minute. And David Raya is there as well, so they're both waiting on the United goalkeeper to hurry up before the referee has a chat with both keepers to re-establish the rules, re-establish the kind of instructions for both keepers for the shootout. Of course, very experienced senior pros. Of course, they know what a shootout looks like. And what they need to do is make sure the ball doesn't go into the back of the net. That's all you can do in a shootout. And that's what can make you a hero for a goalkeeper. As both benches line up on the sidelines, watching on. And it will be United that will go first. And it will be their captain, Bruno Fernandes. As he walks to the penalty spot, is he thinking about where he's going to go? What is he thinking, Bruno Fernandes? He has a good penalty record in all competitions. But when Bruno Fernandes misses, he misses badly. So usually when he puts it on target, more often than not, it hits the back of the net with a sheer ferocity of times when he hits it. Fernandes to take the first penalty in the shootout then. Can he give United the lead with a first penalty? Bruno Fernandes against David Raya. Portugal against Spain. Fernandes steps up and rolls it in. And Man United score their first penalty. He does that little hop and a skip before he takes it. The keeper dived to his left, and Fernandes just rolled it into the bottom left. And Arsenal now have a response to need. And one captain takes and scores. And it will be the other captain who's already missed and already had a penalty saved by the man in front of him. Odegaard against Bayindir again for the second time in this game. Odegaard steps up and scores the opposite way from his first penalty. And that's a really good penalty by Martin Odegaard. 1-1. Keeper dived to his left, as he did for the first Odegaard penalty. And Odegaard sends it the opposite direction and scores to level in the shootout after a penalty apiece. Next up, for United, is going to be Ahmad. He's been a hero in this competition before. Can he help in the shootout for United? Ahmad! Lovely penalty. Beautiful. Nerves of steel from Ahmad. 2-1 to Manchester United. Right into the far right corner. The keeper dived the wrong way again. And it is 2-1 to Manchester United in the shootout. Is Arsenal ready for their second? And this one will be Kai Havertz. Hasn't been able to hit the target for love nor money today, Kai Havertz. But can he hit the target when he needs to for Arsenal and level it in the shootout once again? Havertz stepping up, left-footed, and it's saved for the second time in the game. Bayindir dives to his left and saves an Arsenal penalty. Advantage Manchester United. Kai Havertz, not a great penalty. The keeper saw it all day long where it was going. And that is a fabulous save by Bayindir. A steely, strong left hand denying the German. And Arsenal the first to miss in the shootout. And this to give United a clear lead. Lenny Yoro from the spots. Up against Raya. Yoro steps up and scores. Keeper dives the wrong way again. And Lenny Yoro didn't have to put much pace on it. And it's a lovely finish into the bottom left corner. And United starting to make it pressure filled for Arsenal. 3 penalties taken, 3 penalties scored. And Mikel Arteta watches on. knowing his team are going to get to the point where they're going to have to try and score nearly all of their remaining penalties to keep a chance. And it's Declan Rice who is next up for the Gunners to get them back within one and keep them in this fight on the shootouts. Declan Rice against Deer. Rice steps up and thumps it in. Good penalty. Keeper dived the right way, but nothing was stopping that penalty. Pure ferocity from Declan Rice. He needed to take it, he needed to score it, and he did it quite fabulously. But this, United's fourth penalty, a pressure one. Score, and Arsenal must score out to keep themselves in the shootout. And it's Lisandro Martinez to take the fourth penalty for Manchester United. Martinez stepping up, and again scores. David Raya diving ever so early again, and it made it easy once more for Lisandro Martinez. I mean, the keeper just jumped out of the way. And Martinez, I mean, didn't even have to put it in a corner. He could literally just tap that and it would have went in. And now it is do or die for Arsenal. It's a must-score penalty now. United 4 out of 4. Arsenal 2 out of 3. They miss this and they're out. They score this and they keep it alive. And needing a save on their next one. Deer. A save could carry United through. Thomas Partey to keep the shootout alive. Partey scores. 4-3. And now it's back to David Raya or the Man United player. Score and you're through. Miss, and Arsenal have a chance to get themselves right back in the mix. And it's Joshua Zirkzee against David Raya. A lot of criticism since joining the club in the summer. Hasn't really hit the ground running, but he can certainly give himself the headlines if he scores. Zirkzee scores! A complete penalty shootout from Manchester United, and they have knocked out Arsenal for the second successive season. Arsenal are out at the third round. Manchester United, the holders, defend at least at the first time of asking and stay in this competition and are through to the fourth round. A shootout, a classic with 10 men. That inspired performance is one those United fans will remember. Could this be the moment where the fans and the players and the whole club reconnects and Manchester United turn a corner in their history that has not been at their best, not been as promising in recent years? But this is much more than just a win. This is a masterclass in fighting when all the cards are stacked against you. Down to 10, conceding an equalizer right after going down to 10. Holding on in there, saving a penalty in the process, taking it all the way to the shootouts and making a big penalty save in the shootouts and scoring all 5 of your own. Masterclass indeed. Arsenal out, United through. The holders keep a hold of that trophy once more for another round. Into round 4, and the draw is on the way next. After penalty shootout, it is finished. Arsenal 1, United 1 in normal after extra time, and United win 5-3 on penalties. What a game. What an outcome. What a result for Manchester United, who are through to the next round. Arsenal out again for the second time in the third round in 2 seasons. Liverpool were the team that knocked them out last year. United knocking them out this year. I have to be honest, David Raya, I mean, he may as well not have been in goal for those penalties. No discredit to United, but David Raya just dived out of the way every single time. It was probably one of the worst goalkeeping performances I've seen in a shootout. But credit to United, they were absolutely excellent, and they deserved it on the day. An inspired result, and they're through to the fourth round, which the draw will be taking place a bit later on. The game is concluded. Manchester United will be ball number 2 for the shootouts. Arsenal out, United through. Southampton are 3-0 up against Swansea, so it looks like they will be heading through to the fourth round as well. Tyler Dibbling with his second of the day has Southampton's third, and that should be that done and dusted. But all the details of the fourth round draw will be available on our socials, on X, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube as well, on YouTube, our YouTube community page, and on YouTube Shorts. You have all different platforms to find out the fourth round draw here with us on LFS. For now, thanks very much for joining us in the third round, and we'll see you in the FA Cup in a few weeks' time for the fourth round. What a way to finish our coverage as Manchester United win in the shootout at the Emirates.